So recently, I've been thinking about the slippery slope of negligence when regards to parents and their kids. It's just overly apparent today that the kids, the children, are spending more and more time with video games, with TV, than previous generations, and it seems pretty easy for adults to just sort of uh, pass it off as them being okay, as acceptable, and not taking the time and effort to educate and give the necessary love and understanding to their kids. Uh, right? That it takes education is love, and a lot of parents just rely on school teachers, on their social network, and really to educate and to develop their children when they should take a very strong uh, approach to it. They should really take it under their as their purview to shape the mind of their kids in a positive direction. And I have just some stuff pulled up here from Wikipedia on how many hours people spend. Like the age of 13, they spend 6.3 hours a week playing video games in 2013. Uh, you have in 2017, more recent, uh, spends 3 hours and 58 minutes daily watching TV on average American, as our average consumer, right? Versus the hours spent with family, which is 2 hours together each week. For was it? Study of 4,000 families and published tomorrow reveals that in 8 families. Yeah, so it's 2010. So I don't know the sources. I don't know these how good these studies were, but I think it's more and more apparent that in an age where it's abundantly easy to acquire a cheap means of entertaining young people, it's incredibly easy to lose track of the where their mind is going, what they're thinking about, as far as whether they're becoming frustrated or depressed, or these the cheap thrills are not a mainstay of human happiness. You have to be doing something that's worthwhile, that's functional, and that gives you a sense of your own humanity and of your contributing to the future. And if there isn't a connection to that, people just get they start to have problems. So this has been I've been thinking about this for a while, just because it's just something that is a deep is not so easily tracked. It's a lot of people spend a lot of time and don't spend a lot of time with their kids, and don't spend as much time as it seems like it's very easy to go to suddenly to not realize the amount of hours you're spending watching TV or playing video games, or or and that your kids are doing those things, and how many hours your kids are doing those things. So that's mostly what I wanted to say. I mean, there's other things I'm going to discuss. Hopefully, I'm producing a video a day from now on, just on my thoughts. Maybe tomorrow I'll talk about my financial situation, what I'm thinking about moving forward. But there's definitely a need to take on much more of an intellectual role with our with the children, with young kids. And if you can't sit with them, if you can't teach them, a new skill, and and have that as a mainstay of your parenting, then you should be sitting with them and going and holding their hand through the emotional tumult of learning new ideas, because that's what's going to give them the ability to address the problems in their future. If you don't do that, then they might make it, they might be fine, but they might not, and you have to take on a certain authority and a certain responsibility for their well-being. So that's what I wanted to discuss.